Welcome to the Dominance Academy, where we specialize in revitalizing manhood and leadership. Our approach focuses on developing men to lead with strength and passion, enriching their lives and their families. We provide practical solutions and expert guidance in the realms of sexual education and the mysteries behind polarity and structured power dynamics. Join us at thedominanceacademy.com and restore harmony to your home while rediscovering the joy of a fulfilling masculine presence. It's time to step into your role as a leader and as a man. And now, the host of the show, Mr. Justin.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the Dominance Academy. I'm Mr. Justin, and it is Friday. Friday. I hope you guys have had a productive week, and I know I have. It's always good to keep things moving and keep working on stuff, keep developing things, helping my clients better their lives. Even though sometimes challenges are difficult. What's up, K-san? Good to see you, man. But yeah, so I'm just put up a new video for the members who are part of the video library about how to create your program, and so I'll go into that for about a good half hour on how to do that for men. It's also available for those who are on the mentorship program, and get into some detail about how one should actually make their program, because too many people are out here talking about, oh, I got a program, I got this, I got that, and the woman needs to get on my program. And I always wondered, what the heck is that? If they can actually say what they've got, can they lay it out? And so we dispel some of those myths, and I teach you guys how to actually put one together so you can have a program that you can stand on and feel proud about and all that good shit. So today I came across another video from the It's Complicated YouTube channel. And the guy goes around Vegas and he interviews people and asks them pretty insightful questions. And it's not the questions that are all that bad, because I already know his brain is stuck, but the reactions and getting to see what people are thinking is astounding, right? Because it gives me a little peek into the minds of regular folks, regular guys, because to be fair, I get stuck in my own bubble. We're having no problems with women. I only associate with men who live similar lives, and so I sometimes lose sight with my privilege, and I forget what guys really have to go through when in relationships and dealing with women, and so it's a nice little wake up call for me. About just like what guys are dealing with. But it's just a shame. It really is a shame that just these gender wars. And I was just listening to a video by who are they? Abba and Preach. And they were reviewing just a clip off of the show The View, and they were talking about, I think the subject was, do women need men? And someone had gone around a city and asked a dozen women if they need men, and only one woman said, and only one woman said, I need a man. And what was interesting is, on the panel there were one or two women who said that they love their husbands, they cherish their husbands, they need their man. And anytime something like that came up, the host of the show, I forget her name, the older lady with the red hair, I think, she just kept shooting them down, making fun of their husbands and shit like that. And she's like, oh, well, so basically you have a servant. And it's like, come on, and it just illustrates to me how many women don't have men in their lives. Like, they think they do have a man simply because he is male part of the species, but that does not make one a man. Like, just because you have a dick and balls doesn't make you a man. It makes you male, right? It makes you male part of the species, but it doesn't make you a man. And so you can tell, there's just a little secret. You can tell the amount of exposure or experience that a woman has had with men with a capital M by the way she speaks about them. That because, you know, a woman, actually, well, all of us, we're all subject to only the knowledge that we've acquired. So we can't have knowledge of something we've never experienced before. So if a woman has only experienced certain types of guys, she can only speak on that experience because she doesn't know what it feels like to be with a different kind of man. And same with dudes, right? That's my gripe with you know, red pill guys, because they're talking about, you know, the so-called like evil nature of women. And that just shows me that they've never seen the other side of women. And so that's what they think all women are. And, you know, it's just simply not true, right? There's plenty of guys out here, actually maybe not plenty, but there's a number of guys out here, and we don't have issues with our women. We get what we want. And through that, the women are treated well. It's a synergistic sort of thing. But anyways, so yeah, check that video out by Abba and Preach. Shout out to them. It was a funny breakdown. Those guys are humorous as always. So I've got this video here. We'll jump into it and break some of it down and see what they got to say. Rolling.
When it comes to relationships, what does it mean when people say that men are supposed to lead?
That's a good question. Well, financial-wise, teaching-wise.
We supposed to provide, protect.
Could be like opening up the door for a woman. It could be.
So right off the bat, these are things that we hear constantly, right? So she said finances, teaching, which is good. And the other guy said provide and protect. This guy starts talking about opening doors or whatever the hell. I think that people conceptualize these things, but they're not exactly speaking on them from experience. So the guys, I haven't looked through all of this, but the guys, I'm guessing, are going to be speaking on what makes a leader from a conceptual perspective, not something that they've actually experienced or created in their lives. And same with the women. They're coming at it from a fantasy perspective, not ever having actually been led by a man.
Paying all the bills, whatever, you know.
Like pay for everything, buy everything, like be dominant in the relationship.
That
Dominance,
means basically women are already independent. So therefore, when it comes to men, we just like men to take that off of us. We don't want to have to make decisions on our part. We want our man to make those decisions. We want our man to be reliable for us in order to just take the lead. But if a man cannot take the lead, then you're not dependable as a man.
Right, so she's got it. She understands, right? So kudos to her.
That make men more accountable.
Yes, I agree.
If women are the ones who determine that men should lead, wouldn't that mean that women are really the ones in charge?
Hold up. If women are the ones to determine that men should lead, women aren't the ones to determine if men should lead. Men are the ones to determine for themselves if they're going to lead or not. So it's already faulty.
In charge?
Well, yeah, we're always in charge. We're women.
Well, wouldn't that mean that women are really the ones in charge?
Well, yeah, we're always in charge. We're women.
Right. So I knew he was going to go for that. So basically he's saying if women are the ones allowing men to lead or saying, I want you to lead, men, then that puts them in a position of being the shot caller. And yeah, I knew exactly he was going to go for that.
Well, how can men lead if it's by women's terms?
Because they have to listen.
It's not by women's terms. See, this is the snapshot I was looking for. This is that little peek into how average guys think, right? And so they're coming from a position from the get-go. What do they call that? Well, it's like a presupposition. So they're coming from a presupposition that women are the the leader, the goal, the thing to match to. And so everything that they come up with is based off of that viewpoint.
Listen to what we say, but still lead. Like if things are going bad, somebody has to be level-headed. Somebody has to be able to lead us out of the trouble.
Wouldn't that make men more accountable?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's one thing I do pride myself on, is taking accountability for my own actions as a man. And then if you're going to be a leader, you got to be able to take accountability when things are going wrong and when things are going right.
If women are the ones who determine that men should lead, wouldn't that mean women are really the ones in charge?
Now that you put it that way,
Yes.
How can men lead if it's by women's terms?
That is true. I don't know. I'm stuck.
It only makes sense. It only is confusing because you're including women into leadership. As if asking for permission or looking for the green light, or dare I say, the choosing signals. You just lead. And if they're not following, okay, they have the right to do that. If they are, great, you better know what you're doing.
I feel like women are mainly in charge because women are the ones that actually keep the relationship stable, keep the relationship actually with substance, and basically organized and controlled. And I feel like when a relationship is uncontrolled, that's due to the men.
If everyone wants men to...
That actually is the case for a lot of marriages and relationships, where the guy is just there. He's like happy to be there, but he has no vision. He has no goals for the relationship. He has no structures or plans in which to create growth. And that's what I get into when talking about the program, is how to do that. So check that out. The thing is, though, is that most guys are not thinking this way, right? They're just there along for the ride and happy as long as he's able to, eat and have a home and have what he believes a lifetime of access to vagina. And this just is not the case because, most marriages and relationships, they eventually turn into a dead bedroom. But yeah, she's exactly right for the average relationship.
Men to lead, is it any wonder why most leadership positions are held by men?
Look, he got me stuck because, all his questions are, it's checking me right now.
Yeah.
That's no surprise. I mean, for one, you can't have a woman leading because they're in an emotional state. They'll make emotional decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They will put their emotions first before logic. So that's the number one reason why women can't lead. And a man have to be in that position, because me, myself, I can put my emotions to the side and still make the sound decision for us both, whether I like it or not, or whether I feel the way or not. I'm still gonna make the best decision for us, logically.
So why do women complain about men being in charge when women wanted it that way?
I think
Okay, so that's an error in itself. Why are you listening to the complaints of women, right? Women in general. This, I think, if you just do this one thing, your life will become exponentially more peaceful and more relaxed and more organized. Stop listening to women. Just stop listening to them. Like, unless it's something that has to do with, your goals, right? And this woman has like a greater knowledge about a certain something, but just this whole like man, woman shit, all that sort of stuff. There's literally no benefit whatsoever in listening to a woman about this sort of stuff, about their preferences and what men should be doing, what women should be doing, and blah, blah, blah. It's all worthless. It doesn't make a whit of a difference, and it does not improve your life whatsoever. And in fact, it makes it worse. So just stop watching anything that's like this. And I'm subjecting this to you so that you can see it for yourself about how unhelpful it is.
I think some men just don't know how to lead. I think society has turned certain men to not even knowing how to take those proper steps of leading. So it really comes from the man not having the knowledge to do so in today's society. Because if you look back then, it was more successful relationship and more successful men at the head of the household back then than it is now.
Why do women complain about men being in charge when women wanted it that way?
Because most women feel like they don't have to ask. It should just already be done. Some women always feel like they have to ask for too much, and it shouldn't. It should just become natural.
Maybe we're just always needy.
Or that too.
Are
Yeah.
men built to lead, or are men built to be?
And that's true. Like a lot of women are just they're very needy. They're but understand this comes from a place of not wanting to feel unsafe, not wanting to feel vulnerable, or too vulnerable, or vulnerable dangerously, right? Vulnerable with risk, not vulnerable with safety. And so this leads one to want control. And so then they're looking at their man and the relationship and they're having these expectations, but it's to alleviate that anxiety for them to feel safe. And that's why they're hoping that guys would just get it, right? But here's the thing. If you do just get it, in the relationship sense, not in the bedroom sense, you're still going to be pandering. And leadership is just, you've got your vision, you've got your CPRs. Guys who are on the program know what I'm talking about. You've got your CPRs, you've got your program, you have your constitution, you know how to use your axe, your hatchet, and your compass. That's all you need. And if she's there, great. Reward her, praise her, let her know she's doing a good job. Punish her and redirect and correct things when necessary. And everything is going to be fantastic.
To be disposable?
We built the lead.
Are men leading when they're drafted or when they sink on the Titanic? Lead, or are men built to be disposable?
We're just always needy.
Or that too.
Sorry about that.
Are men built to lead, or are men built to be disposable?
We built the lead.
So this is a faulty question. So leadership and disposability they're not synonymous with one another. You could have something that they're not. Like one is an action and, one, well, just isn't. Like one's about being used and the other one is about being useful. So they're not good things to equate. It's a false equivocation. I think that's what it's called.
Are men leading when they're drafted or when they sink on the Titanic?
You said drafted? Like NFL? NBA?
Men are built to be disposable. That's why we thrive so hard to be the leader, because we know that at any moment, if we're not adding value, or if we're not protecting, or if we are not important in someone else's life, then we can easily be replaced.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
I don't know if that's more of like just a rejection thing and how you handle it more or less than leading, I guess you could say. But
yeah, he's doing it again. He's drawing these comparisons where there isn't one.
Like just a rejection thing and how
replace.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman?
Are men leading when they subject themselves to a woman's discretion? So again, the question implies that the woman's discretion is the thing that you are measuring to. This is a faulty position to be in. This is a position of weakness. This is a position of worshiping women from like a love-fear angle. And it's ultimately not beneficial. So you're always going to be caught in these conundrums where it's like, well, I want to be the leader, but if I'm trying to gain her favor, how can I be the leader? And it's like, no, you should be trying to gain the favor of yourself. Gain your own favor. And then don't worry about her. If she wants to side up with you, great. If she doesn't, great. It doesn't matter.
Woman's discretion.
I don't know if that's more of like just a rejection thing and how you handle it more or less than leading, I guess you could say. But for sure, I guess in your own way, I guess you could say you're leading your own path and going somewhere else. So
Exactly.
Don't men have to submit to the rules defined by women?
What rules? Don't know. Men don't have to submit to the rules of women. See, again, you see it? You see the pattern? All the questions come from the position of women are the authority that I have to match to, right? That's their mindset. This is a destructive and faulty mindset. You will always be losing in this mindset.
I don't. Yeah, basically.
Well, how can men be the dominant ones in a relationship when they are the pursuers of women?
Because we're smart.
They're dominant in the relationship because the dominance isn't from taking leadership. It's inviting to leadership. And it's inviting based on your terms. That's all it is. But you must know what your terms are. Like I literally drafted up a terms and conditions, like couple paragraphs or a paragraph about to my woman early on in the relationship. And I was like, look, this is what it is. If you want to get on, cool. If you don't, that's fine. But you have the free will, but understand you come over here, this is what is expected.
Smart enough to understand that.
What does that mean?
We're smart enough to understand subconsciously women lead. And just like the game of chess, if you're a king, you know exactly that the queen is the most important piece on the board. And that no matter what, if you learn how to maneuver the queen, then you learn how to win the game.
Why do red pill men complain about all the things men have to do on a first date, but then say chivalry is dead and feminism killed it? What part of the dating process isn't chivalry?
That's because red pill men are weak. They're weak, deluded cultists.
I think those type of guys are not built to lead. Any man complaining about doing something for a woman on the first day is like, unless she got over the top expectations, taking a woman out, courting a woman, you know what I'm saying, letting her know that you can provide, protect, and you can lead. That's what a woman wanted to see on the first day. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it's like an interview. That first day really like an interview. You know what I'm saying? Y'all interviewing each other. So
what do you?
So he kind of gets it, but you don't have to do anything extravagant to prove anything to anyone. You do what you want. And the feeling that she gets that you are someone safe who could possibly lead her comes down to, I mean, if you really want to get down to it, is how you feel about yourself and how you lead yourself and your association to the female archetype. And, are you controlled by lust? Are you right? It's like there's a lot of things that she can pick up on. Like I've mentioned in other videos, that women have this exceptional ability to read between the lines. They pick up on vibes, and this is part of their developed survival instinct genetically, over many generations. That, because they don't have the brute force, they need to learn how to read situations, right? So they can read you. They just pick up on the feeling of you being able to be this way. And unfortunately, a lot of guys, they will put a lot of things on the front end, and it sort of glitches a little bit on that instinct that women have. It can fool it, right? And so it kind of like fools their algorithm, and he could be a complete loser. He just has the ability to present like he is a protector, presents that he's reliable, present that he's a leader, but he's actually not. And she only finds out later on. And then she's like, well, fuck, I guess maybe I'll just like use him for a little while until the man comes along who gives me the feeling that I'm looking for. Not the guy's money. Like the money's nice. The great job is nice. His home is nice, whatever. But it's the feeling that she's after. And that's not produced by these things. Will these things be ignored? Some yes, some no. But like what girl would be, like, so I was, went out to dinner with my woman last night, and we got some sushi and some sake, and we were just sharing stories of our past, and she was telling about the story when she was much younger, and she was, I don't know, Ukraine or something like that, and there was, is there a large body of water over there? I don't remember where she was, but there was like a large body of water, and a very like wealthy guy came up, and he had a yacht, and she was like working at this resort type place as a waitress. She was like 20 years old, I think, and like super cute, perky, like just this little, she's super cute back then. I mean, she's still cute now, but you know what I'm saying. But anyways, so this older guy, she's 20, he's probably in his mid 40s, and he's got a yacht and all this stuff. And she knew she wasn't really attracted to him, and she was also just, you know, pretty inexperienced and shy at that point. But he's like, hey, I want to take you on a ride with my yacht. And she was telling me, she's like, I didn't want anything from the guy, but she was offering a ride on the yacht. Like, of course I'm going to go on the yacht. Right. So even though she wasn't feeling the guy, he was offering a ride on his yacht. So she, you know, like took a break from work and hopped on his yacht, and they went around and all that stuff. And he took her back. And, you know, once he realized that there was nothing going to go on, she just dropped her off, you know. But the thing is that women women aren't, like, as long as you're not threatening, women are going to take up guys usually if they're offering something pretty big up front. Like, why would they deny it? Right? So if like a moderately attractive woman, but you're not really feeling her, wants to do something nice, you know, most guys are just, they're going to be like, all right, sure. Like, you know, especially today with the soft guy era, they're like, yeah, let's, you know, sure, you can take me to dinner and, you know, bowling or whatever the hell it is. So you can't blame them for just wanting to go with the experience. Women love variety. They love variety of experiences. So it's just what they do. But yeah, all right. So let's get back to this.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
In terms of like, okay, so like he has to pay for the woman or pay for the date in general, and then he's pretty much being like held to a standard the whole time. Like it feels more like an interview than a natural conversation.
We do pay for the date, and 9 times out of 10, it's probably just a free meal for that woman. But hey, at the end of the day, you're out here trying.
Listen, I can't remember the last time I went out to dinner as a first date. Like, why is that even a thing? Dinners are boring. They're boring. And I don't know, you just like sitting there masticating in front of one another. Like, what the hell is that? I don't get it. If you really like going on dates, there's so many things. I mean, if you're creative, there's so many things you can do. That's not sitting there putting food down your face hole. Right? Like, there's so many things. But it's just a cultural norm that people just fall into because they don't have any imagination. Or just the ability to keep it 100 and make it simple. Like, the most dates that I go on, well, I don't go on dates anymore, but it's just a cocktail date or a glass of wine. And maybe I'll choose a place that has like little side plates, like they'll bring out like cheese or olives or cured meats or something like that. Nothing extravagant or whatever. But, you know, just in case the date is going well and then I start getting a little hungry and I want some olives and, you know, and prosciutto to chew on. So there's no reason that you have to do these things. Like, again, it comes from the perspective of having the preferences, desires, and standards of women as your measuring stick. And you're always going to lose doing this. Always.
That's all that matters.
And I feel like dating is kind of weird nowadays. And the best relationships happen organically and almost by chance.
They do.
Not saying that they obviously can't happen with one pursuing the other. That's totally normal. It happens a lot. But I feel like the easiest way to have a successful relationship is when it happens when you least expect it and neither people are really trying. Almost like having a friendship before a relationship.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
I think they would, because they do in certain religions where they have to. And
So he said, if women have abundance of choices, why would they go into a relationship where they don't have control? Is that what he said? Let me just rewind that.
Would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
I think
yes, when she's with a guy whom she respects. That's it. If she has no respect for you, she's going to want to be in control. And now that's not just one-sided. There's many prongs to that fork, okay? So this also has a lot to do with her ability to trust, which is partially down to you and partially about what she brings, because trust has, you know, something to do with your past. So it's going to be harder if she's had a tumultuous past for her to trust people, right? Or if she's had a lot of bad run-ins with men, she's going to have a difficulty trusting men. And so she's always going to want to be in control. And therefore, respect can only get to a certain point. But she's always going to be on top. So, yes, if they've got options of men that they don't like, and then she gets with a man who knows what the fuck he's doing, and she's able to challenge her inborn or her conditioned lack of trust. And just a lot of women have this, almost all of them. So, that's just the way it is.
I think they would, because they do in certain religions where they have to. And actually, statistically, those relationships that are arranged last longer and they have less chance of divorce than chosen relationships, which is really, really interesting.
Are men leading when they approach women and subject themselves to rejection at a woman's...
See what he does? Subject themselves. Subject, right? A king has subjects. The people below the king are called the subject. So, again, he is viewing women as the authority. No, you're not subjecting yourself to anything, because a man with a capital M does not take rejection at all. It's not a thing. People are allowed to say, I don't like you. Get over it. It's perfectly fine. Not everyone's going to like you. Like, grow up and grow a pair. And there's like grown men who are afraid of being rejected. What the hell is wrong with you? It's not that big of a deal if she says, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Or even if she says, go away. All right? Who cares? Like, that's something that she has in her reality, in her world. It has nothing to do with you. All you did was introduce yourself. If she doesn't like that, okay, who cares? But guys, you care. Why do you care? Why do you care? I know why. Because women are an authority in your life.
Women's discretion.
No.
So don't men have to submit to the rules defined by women?
No.
If he likes her a lot or if he loves her a lot, I guess, yeah.
No.
Do you think two people can ever love each other equally, or is one going to love the other one more?
Ooh, this is a good question. I've heard that in relationships, one person always is a little bit more interested. So this is what I've heard. I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that if the man is slightly more interested in the woman than she is in him, the relationship statistically is more likely to last. I don't know that this is 100% true, but that's...
If the woman is comfortable being in the position of a leader, the most ideal situation is where the leader cares for the follower, but is not in love with them, like all starry and heart eyes and all that shit. Okay? You can have love for them. You love them as a human being, and you love the fact that they're listening to you, right? So the leader has love for the follower. The follower can be in love with the leader because they don't have to do much. All they have to do is listen, obey, and be taken care of. That's all. So they have the freedom, they have the luxury of opening up their hearts to the point of being in love and starry-eyed for that person. So it's not about man, woman. It's just whomever is leading and following is perfectly fine if the follower has, is starstruck by the leader. It doesn't work so well if the leader or the one who's in the position of leadership is starstruck by the follower, because then that puts the follower in position of leadership. So if the woman is in the position of leadership, the guy is all starstruck by her, and she's comfortable being in that position, it'll work out. If the man is in that position of leadership and the woman is starstruck by him, then that will work out. It's simple. It's not a man-woman thing. It's just, the natural flow of energy.
That's a tough one. I kind of feel like it is true. I don't want it to be, but I feel like it kind of is.
Is it true that whoever loves the other one less has the power?
Why are you looking for power in the relationship? That to me says you're feeling unsafe and you're looking for leverage, right? The one who has power in the relationship. No. And this is coming from somebody who lives in a power exchange relationship. It's an invitation. It's not something that I need. It's not something that makes me feel safe. I'm safe within my own skin. I don't need the other person to make me feel safer. Okay, so I don't need to exert, excuse me, I don't need to exert power and control over them.
The fire.
I ask that question every day. Please bring the old rights back. I would rather be in the house and taking care of the
Me
kids.
That comes with, it gets deep. I get deep. That comes with the government. That comes with, you know what I'm saying, separating the woman from the man. You feel me?
Shit.
Like, yeah, it get deep. I might as well, you know.
Damn, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize my mic was muted. Fuck. But anyways, we're vocal now. Pardon me.
I'm saying, I'm like, yeah, but that question, I'm like, I can tear that up.
If a man needs to make a woman feel safe in order to be in her feminine, how is a man supposed to be a dominant masculine leader when he's constantly threatened by the fear of divorce?
Wow, what an answer! Because I just went through. Just went through a divorce, so that's pretty tough. Good question.
So what's he saying? You can't lead unless it's safe to lead. Is that right? So the general, the general who is, about to go into war, there's a chance that he's going to die. So he's not fit to lead because he might die. That's just dumb.
It's tough. That's a tough one.
Well, how can you have true masculinity without authority?
Shit. Only time you got masculinity is in the bedroom. That's it. And at the bank, when you're at the grocery store, when you're paying for the food.
Well, you shouldn't be feeling about that. If you handling what you need to handle, there is no fear. For one, if you a man and you a alpha and you a leader, you ain't fearing nothing but God.
Sometimes women that are independent, we're tired of being masculine. So therefore, when you allow us to be soft and feminine, we're not going to bitch about anything. We're going to be happy. So you won't be divorced.
How can you have true masculinity without authority?
Who don't have authority? Now, if you don't have authority, that's your choice of giving up your own authority, man. So, man.
That's right. I wish I wasn't muted. Fuck, because I said some good shit in there. Fuck. Well, yeah, you if you don't have authority and you're claiming that you're a leader, then you don't have respect. So you can't have respect and without authority. You can't have authority without respect. They go hand in hand. So that's a little messed up there. But I think one of the things that I was mentioning while I was muted was that girl with the red glasses, and she was talking about something that was limited by her experiences. So she has a pretty good idea, all right? But one of the important things that she said, that I'll rewind for this, was the part about submitting to him or following him, no, it was catering to his emotional needs. Okay. And this is a small bit. This is a small piece of the pie. It's not just his emotions, right? She paused and she's like, she should have just stopped, where she was like, yeah, I'm going to, support him. Let me just rewind that really quick, because that was really important.
I'm not sure. People like to be independent. I understand that, but
Just to work and pay taxes instead. Accountability. Leadership.
I think it takes the right man to make her feel comfortable. I don't think that it's that women aren't necessarily open to that idea. I think it all has to be the right man. It has to be the right person that makes her feel comfortable enough to be able to do something like that.
If women are leaders by nature, why don't they like taking accountability?
No comment.
Why would women who used to be protected and provided for choose to work and pay taxes instead?
I have no idea. I'm not one of those women. I would love to sit pretty and have a man work while I cater to his needs emotionally.
Right there. So she said cater to his needs emotionally. Listen, if a woman is on your program, she's going to cater to your needs, period, stop. There is no, like, I'm going to cater to him only this way because that's what's easy for me or convenient for me, all right? If a woman's on your program, she has respect for you. She looks up to you. She's got the, she's starstruck or whatever. This can't be, it's all or none. She's going to cater to your needs, period. Not just your emotional needs or what's convenient for her. All right. And I think that was one of the other things that I was talking about while I was muted, unfortunately. You know, about, you know, like knowing what your needs are, being able to lead from them. Because, you know, every guy's going to be different. Some guys will just have emotional needs and that's all he wants taken care of. But I would say that a lot of guys, you know, who are leading their relationships well, it's not just that. He's going to have a laundry list, and this is what he needs for his relationship to function properly. All right. And so a woman who is submitted to that, she's going to follow that. That's just the way it works. All right, let's jump back to where we were. See what this guy here.
And automatically is gonna be like a woman a woman won't take you to court if you handling your business. That's just period.
Yeah, that's
true. Feel me? It's just period.
Why is there more religious pressure on men to be leaders than there's religious pressure on women to be virgins?
Why are you worrying about religious pressure? Who cares? Who cares about religious pressure? This is ridiculous.
No comment.
Why is there more religious pressure on men to be leaders than there's religious pressure on women to be virgins?
That's a good one right there.
Probably because they knew way back then that you just can't control women. Women are going to have sex. That's it. You can't control them because it makes you feel a certain way. So they just let it alone.
To be honest with you, man today don't want no virgin. And it's always should be pressure on man because, I mean, we created an image of God, man. Man came here first, so it's our duty.
What is the drizzle soft guy era?
The soft guy era is like a
wearing panties?
spinoff of like the soft girl era that women started a couple years ago, I guess. Men want to be valued and appreciated just like women want to be valued and appreciated. And nowadays you're seeing it a lot more outwardly spoken. It used to be back then men would, you know, just contain that to themselves and possibly just speak about it when it's with the bros. But now, because of social media and so many platforms, it allows you to speak. And, you know, certain men have put that out there that they would love to be catered to just like women are catered to.
Soft guy.
See, here's the thing. When you're leading well, when you're that guy, you got a program, you know what the fuck you're doing. You're fucking her well. You're leading her mind well. You're leading her emotions well. She will cater to you. It's the guys who have never experienced it, who desperately want it because their cup is not full with themselves, so they need it to feel better about themselves. They are demanding this. They're desiring this. And now they're being vocal about it. And they're trying to pass it off as satire, but it's really what they would like to have. They really would, because they're soft. They're soft. They're weak. And they need this sort of thing in order to feel good.
Guy era is a TikTok trend of men finally realizing their worth and demanding that women equally contribute to their relationship, often financially. Who are the bigger simps? The soft guys who make equal demands of women, or the alphas who want to protect, provide, and serve women?
The alpha males, because
Let's just stop using the word alpha. It's done. It's dead. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, there's two categories of guys. There's men and not men. That's it. And if a man wants to provide in a certain way, that's his fucking prerogative. If a man wants to not provide in a certain way, that's his fucking prerogative. That's it. He's just talking about different males with different categories and names and classifications and name tags and shit.
because they automatically want to do what they're supposed to do as males for women.
I second that because they're already like ready to give you everything. Like they're ready to provide and take care of you. So they're already basically simping.
So why do you think men aren't advocating for 50-50 relationships or soft guy era?
Because I think that men naturally want to be alphas, but then again, the ones that are in their soft guy eras, I kind of think they're just following the trend and they're pretending like they don't want to provide when they really do.
It's 2024. Everybody's following the trend.
Some men aren't looking for 50-50. Some men will be able to provide and they're confident in their ability to provide. They just want a woman to be able to emotionally cater to his needs and serve him in a different way.
I understand you want to protect and provide and all that. And that makes sense because that's what men's supposed to do.
I mean,
Who says that's what men's supposed to do?
society, I guess. I mean, I guess society took a toll on the community. So
I mean, do men have a job? I mean, who's their employer?
Shit, I don't know.
I mean, are women doing what they're supposed to do?
I'd assume so. I mean, I'm not saying like that applies to every woman, because every woman doesn't deserve that.
Well, why does that apply to every man?
That's a good question.
If men admit women live life on easy mode,
it doesn't apply to every man. Do you see what's out here? Do you see what's going on out here? Guys aren't being men, but they're being told to be men, and women aren't being women, and I don't know, they're not told to be women, unfortunately. But who gives a shit what they are saying? You listen to you. You listen to your own desires. You listen to your own preferences. Stop listening to the messages and the voices and the chit chat of, it's like, in the mornings here, birds will be just like filled in the trees, all yapping at each other. You guys like stop and listen to that shit. That's what happens. That's what ruins your mind. Just stop doing that and pay attention to what you want. That's all you need.
why are they proposing we place more burdens on men?
That's the way of life. That's the pressure of being a man. That's what I'm saying. See, a lot of y'all be complaining about just being a man. You should have been born a woman if you ain't wanted all this pressure. Because as you a man, there's always gonna be pressure. There's always gonna be things that you need to handle. There's always gonna be accountability. There's always. There's no ducking it if you're a man.
I mean, what gives any man the right to dictate that other men should be protecting and providing for women, or that they have to be strong, or they have to? Who says what they have to be?
I don't think it's something that somebody says. I guess it's just something that's in you. If you love a woman enough, if you care for her, that's just something that you want to do.
Well, right, but doesn't that give men a license to condemn other men who don't do what they're supposed to be doing?
No.
It does, you're right.
So why do we live in a country of...
No, like if a guy, listen, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. You can do whatever the hell you want. Just the results of what you do, don't complain about it. And also, if things are working out, don't brag about it. Just do what you got to do.
country of dictators?
You can say that.
Aren't the guys who demand 50-50 from a woman, don't they have more self-respect? They're demanding more from a woman rather than just show up and I take care of everything and pay all the bills.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So how once again, how are the alphas not the bigger simps in that situation?
Well, you might be right now because I'm sitting back thinking about it. If I turn it around, 50-50 is better because I'm making you be responsible for the relationship, not just me. Alphas are the biggest simps.
Because simp isn't necessarily a bad word. I'm like, I love a simp, but I'm more annoyed, I guess, with the alpha men who like want to just provide and protect. Because me as a woman, I want to be equal to a man. So yeah, I'm more into the soft guys.
Well, then why do you think men aren't advocating for 50-50 relationships or soft guy era?
Because they're too macho and alpha and they haven't leaned into their soft guy era.
Well, in other words, why are men advocating for the very thing they're complaining about?
Because, no offense to you, I'm sure you're lovely, but men are idiots. Until they realize they got to lean into that, they're going to be lost. They're so wrong. Like, I just couldn't disagree more. But guys like that, like, they're in their own way. Like, there's nothing we can say as women until they just, like... they're kind of just all talking to each other in a group. Like they need to get out there, meet some girls that like want to be equals with them, or stop just talking with each other because you all have the same opinions and you're going to be stuck in that bubble.
Yeah, she's got a great point. You know, all you guys who just bitch and moan amongst each other and not actually get out and have experiences with women. And then what stops you from doing that is all the shit that gets in your head from the chatter, from talking to only guys who are just like you. Or just like what you're watching on YouTube. So you're like, oh, and then you defeat yourself based on that stuff that's jammed into your skull.
Bubble.
Is it easier for a woman to get a man to commit, or for a man to get a woman to submit?
Easy for a man to get a woman to submit.
No. You're talking average males. Average males will commit to a relationship because they will be the ones who are falling in love because they're in there, they're softer, right? They don't know how to lead. They don't have leadership skills. They don't have the ability to have, a use of their axe, their hatchet, and their compass. They don't have a program. They don't have CPRs. They don't have a constitution. They don't have anything that gives them the ability to lead properly. So, of course, they're going to be the ones, who are going toward the woman. That's just the only way it will work out. They don't have anything within them that causes a woman's submission out of reaction. All right? Out of an emotional reaction.
Why?
Because if you meet the right woman and she has the right mindset and she connects with you, it's easy for her to listen and make the man feel, that he's in charge.
Because if you're a top tier man, you already had a resource and accolades for a woman to automatically want to be around you. So if she want to be around you, she's willingly going to submit and make sure she's always in your favor, especially when you are providing a certain type of lifestyle.
Why should women determine that a man leads before she will submit?
Because a man should be leading himself. So if she can't see that you're leading yourself, how you expect her to believe for you to lead her? It don't make sense.
Again, I think men should be the initiators. So I think men should initiate the interest in a woman, and a woman should decide based on the qualities of that man and how he carries himself if he's someone that she respects enough to be in a relationship with.
Well, she's not going to submit until you lead. So you have to lead first, then she'll submit.
I would like to see submissive traits before I step foot out and begin to lead. You know what I mean?
No.
So should a man determine?
No, because then that's looking for choosing signals. See, that's what he's basically saying. But not from an attraction thing, but from a leadership, fellowship thing. So he's like, I'm not going to lead until I see signs of fellowship. No, you just lead. And if they follow, they follow. If they don't, they don't.
Determine that sex happens before he will commit?
Yep. Hands down, 100%.
Should a man determine that sex happens before he will commit?
Absolutely.
I'm religious, so I don't think that sex should be necessarily a determining factor. I don't think that should be the sole reason why anyone commits, man or woman.
Sex is important. You don't want to go committing and it ain't right. You go to committing to something and it ain't what you want. Ain't what did you...
Yeah, but then you can just as easily dismiss it. See, this is allowing your lust to dictate things, right? Now, if sex didn't control you, if sex wasn't a major priority for you, if it didn't alter your decisions and how you move, what then is going to move you? What then is going to alter your decisions and give you insight into how you should be leading and interacting with a woman? Right? Many guys lead with their dicks. It's absolutely true. I want to have sex on the first date. If she doesn't sleep with me on the first date, why? Okay, so she does. What does that mean? Nothing. It means there's sexual attraction, at least enough for one time. Okay? Once you're beyond your sexual impulses, controlling your thoughts and behaviors, then other things take place. Other things become your criteria. Because it doesn't matter if she's willing to have sex with you, but is unwilling to listen to you. If she's willing to have sex with you, but doesn't respect you. If she's willing to have sex with you, but thinks you're a loser. Sex is just sex. It doesn't matter if she gives it to you the first day or the third day or the third week. It doesn't matter. If she's following, she's following. But as long as you have lust as one of your main needs, one of your defining characteristics that guide your decisions, well, then she's always going to be in control of that. Or you're going to be learning tips and tricks in order to make her give it up quickly, which then in turn also makes the thing that she has controlling you. So you're always following.
What you need. Can't commit to it if it ain't right.
If a woman gives a man sex, why is she any more entitled to a relationship than the man's entitled to her submission?
I don't think that she is.
Opening the legs is a form of submission. So it's up to you to, carry it on. Once she open your legs, so she already submitting and giving.
Yeah, it is a form of submission, but that's not all of submission. Like I said, there's plenty of women who submit sexually to men here and there, you know, or maybe regularly, like once a week or whatever, that does not mean she's submitted to him. She's submitted to having sex with him.
Giving herself to you.
If sex is his ticket to commitment and leadership is her ticket to submission, how do we balance courtship before we are willing to each give away a piece of our power?
Wait. Who's giving up power? If you're leading, you're not giving up power. Remember, it's an invitation into your world. That's it. You're not giving up anything.
I don't think that sex is necessarily what's going to make a man commit to answer half of that question. I know that wasn't the full answer to your question, but I don't think that sex is going to make a man commit, truthfully. I think maybe you would agree. It takes probably a lot more than that.
Is there anything else?
Powerful. Potentially, neither of them thought it was going to be a relationship.
I'm going to just jump a little bit.
It takes time. And then when a man, of course, if you give up sex, you hope that your connection is better than anyone else's in the world.
No.
What do you think of this whole soft guy era that's circulating the internet?
I think it's kind of funny. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny. It's hilarious.
You know.
Well, anyways, that's that. I'm going to stop with this shit. So I got a call at 1 o'clock. But anyways, so yeah, there you have it. He does ask a lot of leading questions in bad faith. I think I'm going to have to download this and re-upload it and just cut out that section where I think it was probably 10 minutes of silence. So I really apologize about that. But yeah, guys, just stop listening to the bullshit. Just stop listening to the bullshit. If you resonate with any of that stuff, understand there's something wrong with your brain. There's something wrong with your mind. You consider too much. You consider too much that's outside of you. And this is not the way to live. This is not the way to lead. You have to first start leading with your mind. And you cannot lead with your mind if it's being infiltrated by the outside world. That's not how it works. That's not how you build a fortress in your mind. It can't happen. But once you have that fortress and you understand all the workings that put it together and all the things that are happening inside that fortress, you're much better able to lead and then present an offering, an invitation for a woman to follow. All right, I'm going to end this here. And I thank you guys all for coming. I've got a call to get on at the top of the hour, so I got 2 minutes. So I appreciate everyone who's come through. Check out thedominancecademy.com for coaching calls, for video memberships, for getting on the mentorship program. And if you have any questions, just email me at justin@thedominancecademy.com. I will check you guys later.